Noah Webster once said, "National language is the band of the national union." 21st Law Commission report in his first instance has mentioned the relevance and how important is national language necessary for a national integration and is the most powerful instrument to unify people together all throughout the nation. Mahatma Gandhi, in his second conference of the Gujarat Educational Forum in 1917, mentioned the necessity of having a national language which actually is easy to learn. At the same time, it should be more foster for the officials of the government. It should be the language of the majority and etc. At the same time, when we consider a national language, it should be actually the language of the people, and also it should be able to integrate the people both economically as well as cultural in such a way that our country's progress is being catalyzed through the process of national language.
Done. Thank you so much. Athul, you have 1 minute and your time starts now.
No nation needs a national language. It either has one or doesn't. Political theorists argue that national language can be used as a tool for political integration only in the case of ethnic nationalisms. But India is considered as a civic nationalism in the sense that constitution is a politically binding factor and hence we do not require a national language. Catherine and Tompkins, in their article Post-National Dilemma, argue that federal unions which have the characteristics of supranational unions do not need to adhere to a common culture or a common language to bring about integration, and in specific cases it can even be counterproductive. A nation might need a national language in either of two cases. One is when a single language has played a very prominent role in extending the requirements of the nation during the freedom struggle in the sense of uniting all the people under the language of the same banner and thereby eliminating all the differences between the people. But in the context of India, this was served by several languages and hence we cannot give the status of national language to a single language. And also we have the situation in which a nation might need a national language where there is a lack of politico-elect, that is the lack of official language to facilitate communication between the regional states. But we already have two official languages, which is Hindi and English, to facilitate the dialogues and communications between the linguistically diverse states in India.
And to die off. Now we have 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Your time for the debate starts right now.
Bible is the most populous book of the world. There is a beautiful story in Bible that actually fosters or make a mark on the importance of having a common language for a group of people. When the people of the sons of Adam was trying to build the Tower of Babel, in which the tower touches the top of the heaven, the people from the heaven understood the importance and they dispersed the people with separate languages by inducting into them. This shows that how important a language is for the people.
My friend, I'm not quite sure how you can point out a single analogy, whether it is historical analogy, point out the fact that a national language is important. Because the point that you have stated is a prehistoric event which took place prior to 500 BCE. So in that case, we need multiple historical attestations to prove that it is true. And again, to quote from the New Testament itself, Jesus says that your disciples have to go to each and every nation respecting their language and you should speak in their own tongues. Therefore, Jesus and the New Testament, the Bible itself, gives significance to the variety and diversity of
Thank you.
When we consider about Jesus said about that, we have to consider more about the languages and about the skills that the God of Spirit has given to them, such that when they speak in one language, the people can understand in their own languages. Is the skill that the God of Spirit has given to the disciples of the people.
Also, then taking it to biblically, let's come back to the point and make it to the point.
Okay, now point to a different point. We can have the theories political theories, such as theories by Joshua Fisher, who point out that there are two types of political systems. There can be unimodal system where there is only a single civilizational unit, and there can be multimodal systems in which there are multiple civilizational units and amodal systems. India is classified as being a multimodal system in which we have several civilizational branches. So in such a context, Joshua Fishman argues that it is not practical to implement a national language.
Over to you, please.
Practicals of national language has been more emphasized by the report of National Regional and Linguistic Commission says that the minority community or the communities which are adhering to the national languages are not getting more facilities because they are not prompt to the national language or to have a common language, and they are they're so far away from the facilities that the government gives to them.
It's a very unfortunate fact that despite enjoying the protection of Article 350A and Article 350B, Clause B, the minority communities, their languages, the languages of the linguistic minorities are systematically being eliminated from our country. In 1961 census, we had 1,650 local languages that have been identified. But just 10 years later, the number reduced to just 108. This was because of the aggressive implementation of Hindi as an official language. So even in the absence of a national language, we have such a deterioration of the local language.
Thank you. Clear.
We also have made a study about that the national languages never deteriorate the quality of the linguistic group, but at the same time, the government also has a priority, or government also has a duty to protect the linguistic group, at the same time to foster a common language to the people for an economic and as well as cultural integration also.
Over to you,
As far as the
please.
constitution is concerned, there is no constitutional liability on the government to impose a national language. Just that Article 343 to 344 ensures that the government should promote Hindi as an official language. And I do admit that we need an official language, and we already have a system in place. National language is much deeper than that. National language is connected with the concept of nation state, and India is not a nation state. And political theorists like Mill and Vaishnav have pointed out the question of whether India is a nation state or a state nation. But India is so plural that we cannot fit into either of the
Thank you.
categories.
Yes.
Constitution itself is giving an emphasis on promoting a common language towards the people. That means in long run the constitutional makers have an idea to make that language as the national language of our nation also.
The
Please.
concept of national language goes further beyond promoting a single language. What you're talking about is actually an official language. National language actually means which language should we choose to represent the culture, the history, the traditions of India. And can the multi-dimensional history of India be represented by a single language? 3,500 years ago when Sanskrit came to our country, we had the already languages like Pali and Prakrit in vogue with the population. Also we had theories, we have the works of Kalidasa or Mimamsa. They are putting together an interplay of several languages.
Thank you, please.
At the same time, we could see that when a language has been imposed into people, it is never take away the common language. A language is, when a new element is added to the people, it means that it actually adds a value to the society also. A common point of communication is very essential at the same, or if you have multiple point of communication, then where will people will go until a common point is there.
Clear.
Okay, I would like to point out a theory put forward by Conrad Brand. He states that a national language should satisfy 4 points. First one, it must be colored, meaning that it must be a territorial language. It must be chromoled, meaning that it must be a regional language of a federal union. It must be demolect, meaning that it must at least be understood by a majority of the population, and it must be a politolect in the sense that it must be an official language. Is there any single language which satisfies all these
Over to you,
criteria
please.
for India to have a
Thank
national
you. Yeah.
Our thought is about inducing or indeeding a language which is needed to the people. The constitution itself is actually...
Well, praise the Lord. We are done. Well, now over to the judges.
You said that many languages became extinct because of an official or a couple of official languages being there. Okay, how can you substantiate that these languages became extinct? It was because there was a dominating official language. We don't have a national language.
I tried to substantiate using the facts pointed out by the census. In 1961, we had 1,650 languages identified, which reduced to 108. Now, linguists have analyzed this, and they have come up with a theory known as demonstration effect. And the effect says that with the implementation of a single language as an official language, there is an orientation of the people to learn that official language in the sense of gaining employment opportunities. So, particularly when we consider the languages of linguistic minorities from the backward sections, they show this demonstration effect as when there is an increase in the income, they try to shift towards
Thank
the
you
more...
so much, and your time up. Well, Akhil, it's your turn, and now to the jury, please.
Can you suggest a language which can be India's national language?
A language that actually takes up the heart of the people. It should have a cultural definition, and also that language should actually represent the culture of India. When we come across the Indian independence movement and that language, the Hindi, which has actually been the foster or the most catalyzing factor that actually prompted the Indian national movement, Hindi should be learned by every single person in this country, and it should be considered as the national language itself. At that time, our national thoughts can be spread across the world from late to the Kanyakumari also.
Thank you so much, both of you. Good job. Kindly come forward, boys, and shake your hands. Thank you so much, both of you.